Hello there. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, long overdue, I think, to get back and start doing some more regular videos. I was pondering on something that I've been noticing for a little while now, more than weeks, probably into a few months. I've been watching so many people say, well, I'm looking at women mostly because, I work with women. But so I'm looking at many women say, oh, I want to start a business. I want to expand my business. I want to promote and sell my products or services. I want to really get in alignment with my soul purpose and really fulfill my mission, right? I'm seeing so many people saying this, and I'm excited by that. But what I'm noticing is that nobody's taking the next steps. It's almost like they're stuck in a space where they're saying, I want this, I want this, I want this. But they're not actually ever arriving at the next step where they actually start to gain some momentum or trajectory and start moving forward. So I've been noticing that for a while. Now, the interesting thing is, I recently did a 5-day manifestation challenge. That was so good. I had so much amazing feedback from it. When did I do that? I'm just trying to remember. It may even have been January, I think. And whilst people were really, really excited about it at the time, and they were going to really use all the principles that I taught in the training there to propel them forward with manifesting what it is that they want, creating the life that they want. As I've reached out to them more recently and said, hey, how are you getting on with your manifesting, your vision? And I got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed, a little bit confused sometimes when I hear back from them and they're saying things like, yeah, I haven't really done any more work on that at the moment because, I've got these other things going on, or, I've been really busy, or, I'm trying to this first, or I'm trying to that first. And it's like, oh, so this beautiful vision that they shared with me, that they really want to create a beautiful life, very, purpose-driven, soul-aligned life, they've put it on hold because they found something else to do. There's a lot of talk on social media and places at the moment about going all in. What does going all in really mean? And I've read a few other people's definitions of what that means to them. I love that we all have our own definition of it, of what it means to us. But when it comes to soul purpose, I wonder if there's an element of self-sabotage in there. Because I work with a lot of women and I help them align, embody, activate their soul purpose. And it's like, almost, what is more important? Like, okay, I know feeding ourselves well, paying attention to our health, looking after our family, growing our family, making memories with our children. I know all of that is important too. But maybe the most important, right? But at what level down the scale would you put the importance of your soul purpose and mission? If we were to open up from a much bigger perspective and say, right, well, it's not even just about this lifetime anymore, because I know that our soul purpose is very much connected with gifts and talents that we've acquired through other lifetimes. I offer quantum visioning sessions where people can vision their future, where they could be in a few years' time if they're able to live at their highest potential. So I see that they've fully stepped in and embodied this soul purpose and mission, and they're really owning who they are, owning their gifts and talents, and they're just rocking it, right? So there's all these different elements. And then I think, well, but what happens to us after we're finished in this life? If we, do we get, to the gates of heaven and say, oh yeah, sorry, I got too busy to do my soul purpose, so maybe next time. I don't know. I'm just like, looking at all the different aspects of this. Of course, I have my own perspective on what I believe happens after this lifetime, where we go, the different dimensions involved, past lives, how that influence us, parallel lives, how that influences us. So I've got my personal perspective on all of that. But what's yours? I'd be really interested to know. So I have a couple of strains of thought already going here. Where I'm going to get to next is I've been asking Spirit, show me why so many people are stuck at the moment. Well, it appears that many people are still stuck, hung up, traumatized by the whole, can I say this word or will I get banned again? The word that begins with C, it's got a V in the middle and it ends in D. Like, we've all been going through this for the last 4 years, right? Well, to varying degrees, right? Because as I see that whole pandemic thing, it's a timeline thing, right? So if you hear about it on the news, this thing is happening, we have to lock you in your home, for 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Okay, if you lock into that timeline and you agree to, the psychological operation that it was, if you agree to everything that they tell you on the TV and on all the thing, you are riding that wave. You are on that timeline. You're riding that wave, right? If you look at that and you go, oh yeah, no thanks, I'm going to ride a different wave. If you did that, you were probably on the same wave as me during those 4 years, and you had a whole different experience of the last 4 years, right? This is what I want to say. Like, we align to the timeline that we choose to align to. Sure, there's a lot of conditioning that we have to break down. There's a lot of old programs, usually fear programs, that we have to break down and dismantle all of that so that we can really align to the truth and say, what is really going on here? So I kind of have this little bit of a gift that I'm always a few steps ahead, maybe 15 or 20 years ahead very often. Because, excuse me a moment, in around 2006, around then, maybe a little bit before, around then, I remember talking to the ladies in my meditation groups about this time that was going to come. I called it an Armageddon timeline at the end. At that time, the Armageddon timeline. And I said, they're going to roll out this. It's going to be, feast and, it's going to be famine and pestilence and, all the levels of control that you could possibly imagine. They're going to roll that out. And my ladies, bless them, at the time went, I don't know, I just don't see that happening, Carol. I just don't really get that. Anyway, I realised it was a very futuristic view, and yet then here we are. So over the last 4 years, many of them have written to me and said, oh my God, you were right, when you said that thing, and I didn't believe you, and I kind of get it now. So these things just do roll out. Some of us do have a futuristic view, and we can see what the plans are. So where I find myself now is seeing, let's put our life on hold because we've just come out of that C word 4-year period, and they're saying there's going to be another one. So what I think is happening is that a lot of people are still traumatized by it, quite honestly. I have a lot of women that come to me. I can see that they're in trauma from what they experienced. Fair call. I mean, it was a horrific time. But their life is on hold. Because it's like, I don't know what might not happen next. I got to keep this job security. Are they going to lock us down? I better quick travel overseas while I still can in case they lock us down again. And, I this and I that. And they're holding back almost as if there's an expectation of a recurrence, a reactivation of that 4-year timeline that they were in, right? It's quite logical to understand, wow, yeah, I'm traumatized from this. oh shit, it might happen again. I better hold myself in that fight, flight state, right? I see a lot of people in that state. Then there's the others that never really went into that timeline. And they're like, potentially they're free, right? Wow. I dodged a bullet, if you like, with that one. I'm not aligning to that whole timeline agenda again. So what's next for me? Well, they're completely free. But what I'm seeing is they're still holding back as well. So when I look at the layers of the planet consciousness, right, I can see there's people that are so ready to step into their soul purpose and absolutely bloom. These are our new thought leaders, our healers, our light workers, our teachers, our guides. I can see that they have so much within them, that they've acquired through past lives and, even parallel future lives. It's all melding into one, and it's beautiful in there. And it's almost as if they're afraid of their own power. So they're not stepping out to be seen now. They're holding it in. It's like they're hunkering down and going into some level of protection. Well, what is that? It could be a witch wound, because we've experienced, being hunted down as healers and light workers before. It could be a fear of judgment, criticism by other people that they know. It could be their own fears of being seen, fears, that something that they say might be wrong. There's a whole host of things that could be holding them back. Ultimately, it comes down to lack of self-worth, lack of self-trust, lack of belief in oneself, lack of self-love, all of that kind of thing, right? It's deep within us. So I've developed a program where I can help people to find out exactly what is holding them stuck, clear that so that they can elevate beyond that, right? Move beyond that, really tap into their gifts and talents and their purpose so that they can activate that. Now, I talk to a lot of women, and even despite having all the tools available to them, I'm still seeing this level of stuckness. So I'm like, why are these ladies stuck? Well, again, I got to look, because it's always the micro and the macro, right? So I've got to look into the bigger world landscape. And there it is, the stuckness. Everybody waiting for something. Oh, they're waiting for Trump to be president and make everything right. Or they're waiting to see if we're going to have a central bank currency, or, can I hold on to my dollars or pounds? Or we're waiting to see this, we're waiting to see that. That is the global pandemic, really, right? Because everyone is in a holding pattern, it seems. Not everyone, but many. So if we're in this new age of Aquarius, like if you align to that kind of teaching, well, then we're moving into the new golden age, where we should be absolutely embodying and activating and creating a beautiful new earth, new world for us to live in, new timeline of experience, all of that. I think many of us have been waiting so long to get to this period of time that we haven't realized that it's go time. It's like, I've been teaching this stuff for almost 30 years, and I've been waiting. But I recognize that now is the time. Now is the time. No more waiting. So I spoke with Spirit, I've been talking with Spirit, saying, give me some understanding on this, because it's like bizarre to me. Anyway, I realised that when we're in trauma, when we're in fight and flight, when we've been going through some hardships, when everyone around us seems to be struggling as well, it's very easy to settle down into that landscape, right? And be the same as everyone else, and be struggling just like everyone else, or, paycheck to paycheck, working hard to make money. All of that is a layer of consciousness. It's a frequency band, right? And it's always easier to settle down, lower your frequency, than to elevate your frequency, rise above and break through, okay? Break through to the new level. So I'm all about breaking through to that new level right now. So in talking with Spirit, it has been shown to me that so many people have a very heavy energy about them. Now, I know a lot of people rush off to healers every couple of weeks to clear their energy, but what you have to realize is if that healer has also got heavy energy, if he or she is also part of that struggle, like, oh yeah, I need clients because I can't pay my bills or whatever, if they're in that layer of consciousness, that frequency band where they are in the struggle, they can't elevate you. They may see the energy and some level of it may be cleared, but they can't clear enough to really help you have that breakthrough and lift up to the next level. Only someone that is already holding that higher frequency as a kind of template for what you want, only someone like that can help you break through. I see it a little bit as like reaching down and just hoiking you back up here with me, kind of up to this platform where we are. Someone who's down there, they can push and push and push to get up, but they're not going to manage it to push you up somewhere that they've never been themselves. And this actually is why it can be so difficult for us to push ourselves up on our own somewhere that we've never been. Maybe that's where the expression push, push, push in your business comes from. I don't know. But anyway, it seems to me that when I reach down, I put out my hand and I elevate my client, well, then that's a whole different frequency game now. We're on a whole different level. So I find that very exciting that Spirit showed me that. And so I'm kind of exploring the idea now of creating a particular community of people that are ready to break through. So they're not embodying, activating their soul purpose yet, but they know that's what they want. They know that's what they're striving for. So I'm, putting it out there. If you would be interested to join me in a community where we begin to make this breakthrough, so that we can reach the new level. At that level then is where you embody and activate the soul purpose and you start clearing away more and more limitations. So I'm really seeing this as two levels now. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to be able to offer you something at that level to be able to support you. So if you're interested, DM me and just give me the word breakthrough, right? Tell me that you're ready for this breakthrough. And I will be back in touch with you and I'll tell you a little bit more about my plans. I do have some other very exciting news. This is really for the ladies that are already in my mastermind. But Spirit was also shown to me that the way to elevate them even faster is to help them manage their energy much more regularly, right? So I'm going to introduce that into my mastermind actually, which is a new thing. So each of my mastermind ladies are now going to be able to work with me one-on-one for, like an energy activation. This is going to keep them boosting up all the time. The reason I'm offering that is because, they don't spend their whole life sat chatting with me or in the course program material working, right? They don't spend all their time there. Maybe they spend a few hours a week. I don't know how much time they devote to the work that's there. But they're certainly not hanging around with me longer than a couple of hours each week on our coaching calls. And then I began to think, what are they doing with the rest of their time, right? So I see them maybe 2 hours a week. For the rest of the hours of that week, what are they doing? Are they potentially, this is true for all of us, are we potentially dropping back into the heaviness. So I know that if you're listening to me, if you follow my work, that you probably have some meditation practice, a yoga practice. Maybe you do visualization, maybe you say some mantras, maybe you work on your manifestation, maybe you do that stuff. Maybe you do it every day, but how long for? Like, does it take you 10 minutes, half an hour? So is it that for half an hour you are visioning and holding the frequency of the life that you want to create, your soul purpose, your mission? Are you holding that frequency for 30 minutes a day? Maybe an hour if you're lucky, if you've got that time. But what are you doing with the other 23 hours or 23 and a half hours or 23 hours and 50 minutes? What are you doing with the rest of your time? Are you dropping down into this heaviness? Are you surrounded by people that are in the struggle? Because I'm not. The people that I'm connected with are very much more action takers. They're purpose driven. They're very focused on what they're creating. So I'm surrounded by people in this higher level. Like occasionally, I get to hang out with people that are in a lower level where they're kind of in the stuckness and they've got, a lot of stuff going on. But that's kind of rare for me. And so, most of my 24 hours, well, in fact, I would say it's very rare that I hang around with people that are in that heaviness, that are in the stuckness, right? So pretty much all of my life is spent with people that are very upward moving, very activated, very positive, very soul purpose driven, okay? Very intuitively led as well. So I'm surrounded by that level of a consciousness. So what about you? How long do you spend kind of in devotion, to your purpose? How long do you spend connecting with your heart, connecting with nature, being in a space that's clear enough that spirit can inspire you? How long do you spend in that time each day or each week? Versus how long do you spend kind of in the struggle, in the stuckness? Because as I mentioned at the start, there's a lot of stuckness out there that I'm seeing. So I'm really keen to get us all activated, uplifted. If you're ready for a breakthrough, message me breakthrough. If you really just want to elevate your game, if you want to be completely aligned to your soul purpose so that you can embody and activate it, then reach out to me. Let's talk, because I would love to help you do that. This is actually my purpose, to help you do that. And I do believe that we have an obligation actually to do this, because not everybody holds, the gems of wisdom and knowledge that you have. Even if you haven't fully activated yourself yet. If you're a healer of some type, if you're a light worker, anything like that, if you're connecting with me, there's an element of what I'm holding in my template that you are resonating with. And that's why we're connecting. That's why you found me, And so if that's what you've got going on, then to me, that is a sign that we're meant to work together, because there's some resonance there, right? So if you're ready now to activate your soul purpose, the reason that you're here, you may have been waiting lifetimes for this moment, and you're kind of like, la, 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 what do I do next? What do I do next? Then message me, because we need to talk about this. You are here for a very special reason, a purpose. You have an obligation, really, to share your knowledge, your wisdom, your gifts, your talents with the world, because boy, do we need you. Do we need wise women, conscious, awake women that are ready to stand up and be seen? No more these days of witch hunt and I'm just going to hide and fly under the radar because it's not safe for me to come out. Well, the powers that think they have control over us think they have control over us via media and things like that. They might want you to continue to think that we're still in the days of the witch hunt. In fact, I did a whole program about the witch hunt of 2023. Like, you can't speak your truth because someone will be offended. All of that is kind of like, a carry on, a stuckness, if you like, of the witch hunt days where we couldn't be seen for our gifts and talents. But no, that is all an agenda. It's your time now. We need you. Many, many people need you to step up so that you can reach down and pull them up. When we all rise together, then we all rise. We literally, that's how we have to act and behave if we do want to make a difference in this world and change it. And boy, do we need it. So please come out of hiding. Message me the word breakthrough if you're ready for a breakthrough. Message me, I don't know what I need, but I need some help. Let's talk, because I'm here. I'm ready to help you activate, fully embody your soul purpose so that you can actually complete your mission this time around. Because boy, we've been waiting a long time for this moment, and the moment is now. So please reach out to me. You can find me, Karen Antara, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, Karen Antara Energy Coach. I might be in some of those places. Otherwise, karenantara.org is my website. You can find me there. But I try to be kind of available in all of these places. So please DM me. You will get me the answers. I don't have the stupid freaking AI answering machine and all of that shit. It's going to be me that you talk to. It's going to be me that supports you, coaches you, mentors you. I'm not going to hand you over to anyone else. It's me, because you need to connect with my energetic template, my activation codes, if you want to use that, because I see codes is a very popular word at the moment. But anyway, let's connect, because the world needs you and we need you now. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.